Huddle up, people. Let's all come in for the huddle. Got a quote for you today. Listen up, buckle up, get ready. Unsuccessful people know the cost of everything and the value of almost nothing. Successful people know the value of everything and the cost of almost nothing. Myron Golden. We'll see y'all in the huddle. Oh, look at that beautiful grain juice that Gio had that he was drinking. That looked beautiful.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Daily Huddle. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning to each and every one of you that has made the decision and the commitment to join us here on Tuesday morning on the Daily Huddle. My name is Vince Rountree. I, along with my business partner and great friend, Rawlin Vanatta, the two of us are the co-hosts of the Health, Wellness, and Vitality Show, and we are so happy and honored and privileged to bring you information each and every Tuesday that can have an impact on your life. And today is no exception, because today my partner Rawlin Vanatta is going to give you information that will cause you to think about yourself and think about situations differently than you have in the past. But before we do, I've got a couple of questions, and I want to start out with Stan the Man. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, my brother Vince.
To see you in the morning.
You too, bro.
And how are you doing this morning, my brother?
Man, I'm doing reflective. I'm being reflective. That's how I'm doing this morning.
You are reflective, and
Yes.
you are as
I say
you
I
are.
am. That's right.
And this morning you say you are reflective.
Yes.
Powerful words, my man. Powerful words. Love seeing your face when you show up on the Daily Huddle. Thank you, my man.
Thank you.
My next question goes to another powerful brother that is always good to see, Mr. Stacy Robinson. Stacy, all right, man. Stacy Robinson, my question to you, man, is what time is it, man? What time is it?
What time is it? The time is now. And I'm going to quote one of the greatest poets in American history, Rakim Allah, who says, "It ain't where you from, it's where you at."
It's where you at. And if you have never taken a groove to Eric B. and Rakim, you have not lived. Because that brother, does Rakim bring it or what?
And he goes on to say, and since you came here, you got to show and prove. So it doesn't matter where you are, wherever you are right here, right now, is where you got to show and prove. No
mistakes allowed, my brother. No mistakes allowed. Because to me, MC means move the crowd. All right. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for sharing that with me, man. Good way to get started. And my last question goes to Mr. Sorrel Ketan. And Sorrel, please tell me, where are you?
I am right here. The only place to be, brother.
Right
here. Where I'm supposed to be.
Right here. That's what I'm talking about, man. Right here, right now, you are as you say you are. Well, Rawlin, before we get started, and I throw this to you, just tell me what you are proud of today.
Oh, proud. I'm proud to be a husband and a father.
Yes,
That's what
sir.
I'm proud of this morning.
Those are two of the most respectful and powerful jobs that any man can have. And you take those jobs seriously. One of the many reasons why I have so much respect for you, man. One of the reasons why I have so much respect for you. All right. Well, today we are going to get into a subject matter that I feel is something that can actually change your life, because as we go through this thing called life, we always have decisions to make. And the choices that we make, the decisions that we make, determines the outcome of your life. Because we have, I mean, if you think about how many decisions you make in a day, hundreds. Some have low levels of significance. Other decisions can really change the course of your life. In our business, we deal with people, we help people who are literally on a track to shorten their life, to lower the quality of their life, and they have to make a decision. Do you want to change that? Do you want to change that trajectory? And we often lay out to people that that you got to look at a lot of decisions as a fork in the road. In this direction, there is pain, there is a lack of happiness, there is physical, mental, emotional anguish. On this path, there is wellness, there is joy, there is physical happiness and feelings. But many people don't see it that way. And what Rawlin is going to bring to you today is a way to evaluate decisions that can truly impact your life. So I ask you to listen to what this man has to say and give it the gravity it deserves, because this talk that I have heard him give many times has the power to change the way you make decisions. And what could be more powerful and impactful in your life than making good, quality, solid decisions? Go for it, Rawlin. I am always love to hear this talk, man. I will be paying attention because I love it.
What's up, beautiful people? Thank you so much, Mr. Vince Rountree, my good friend. So real quick, how many of y'all have ever, let me do a quick disclaimer. Even though we're not diving into certain things today, I do want to do a quick disclaimer. Neither Vince nor I are licensed medical professionals. And so take everything that we say as education only. Don't take some kind of health advice that we have and just immediately apply it without doing your own due diligence with your own healthcare provider. Different people are on different type of medications, et cetera, et cetera. And we just always want to make that clear. But we're giving you a underneath what is not commonly taught. So with that said, how many of y'all have ever started to do something? You're like, I'm going to do this new thing. Maybe it's a diet. Like, I'm going to do this new diet. I'm going to do it. And then you do some good stuff and you do it. And before you know it, you look up and you're kind of doing the same thing you were before, because you look at that, let's say it's a jelly donut and you're like, that looks good. That smells good. I think I want some of that. Wave at me if any of that stuff has ever happened. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Wave at me if y'all have ever experienced a little bit of that, right? A little bit of that. Oh, but it sounds good, right? And this could be anything, right? This could be anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be regarding health. Since we're the health, wellness, and vitality show, what we will be doing is we'll be putting the framework of it with decisions based on the food you eat, but you can apply this framing to absolutely anything in life. And that's the power of what you're about to hear, okay? So, how many of you think it would be extremely valuable to have a brand new thing you've never thought about it before that would keep you from falling in? Because you know how we do it, right? We have this we make this one concession. As soon as you make the one concession when you're on the diet, it's a little bit easier to make the second concession. And Stan knows what I'm talking about. He's shaking his head. And then it's even a little bit easier to make the third concession and the fourth concession and the fifth, right? And it just gets easier and easier and easier. And we lie to ourselves so many different times. We can't trust our own decisions when we just say, I'm going to do that from now on, right? So would it be helpful if I showed y'all today a way for that to be eliminated in about 3 minutes? Is that cool? Wave at me if that'd be cool. You'll be like, yeah, that'd be valuable, right? Yeah, all right. Here's the valuable. Here it is. I'm gonna grab $100 bill. Everybody knows what a Benjamin is, right? Right? Wave at me if you've ever had a Benjamin. Okay, right? Now, if I'm holding this right here, and I were to tell everybody on the huddle today, and y'all knew I was serious, and I said, this is a real, it's not fake, it's serious, it's true, you know, you can actually get it, buy things with it, et cetera, et cetera. And if I said to y'all today, hey, by the way, anybody on Facebook, comment down below, you tell me this, you answer this question for me. If someone came up to you and you knew them and you trusted them and you knew it was real and you knew there was no scam going along with it, if someone said, hey, here's a $100 bill, I will sell this $100 bill to you today for $10. Type in the comments, say, I'd take that deal. And if you're on if you're on Zoom tonight, just wave at me, say, or tap yourself in the chest, say, I'd take that deal. I'd take that deal. All right, if I'm gonna sell this $100, and then the question then I'd ask to you, how many times would you take that deal? Right? So I was like, as many times as you would offer it. As many times as you would offer it. Okay? Stan says, I'd take that deal. That's right. Because we would be silly not to take that deal, right? Now I want you to think about something for a second. Most people, when they're evaluating decisions, they look at the $10 they'd be losing rather than the $100 they'd be gaining. Because there is a cost. There is a cost involved in buying this $100 bill for $10. You know what the cost is? $10. Now think about this for a second. The way people evaluate things, let's say they're on a plant-based diet, for example. Oh man, but I have to give up my chicken. But I have to give up my chicken. I have to give up my cheese. But I love my jelly donuts. You know what those are? $10, $10, $10. You know, someone says, well, I think I'm going to get into a different area of business. I think I'm going to become an entrepreneur. I'm going to do this different thing. I'm going to create a new product, a new thing. But I have to get rid of the job I hate. I have to get rid of that little bit of security blanket that I feel that's there, the illusion that's there. And so society has trained us so much. Think about this. Society has trained us so much to look at the costs rather than the value of what we get in the decisions that we make. And it's so inside our head that we think it's our conversation. We think it's our voice when we say, I don't want to give up that. That's not your voice. That's not your voice. Now think about this for a second. We're going to make this so real to y'all today that you might want to cover your eyes, okay? Because here in just a second, I'm going to give it to Vince Rountree, and I'm going to give you a warning. If you don't want to seriously have this impact you so emotionally, you better get off. You better get off the huddle right now, because what's about to happen is we're going to reframe the way you see cost and value. Because here's the deal. There's always a cost. You know what happens to people? They say, oh, and I have to do this with people all the time. You know, we do a health coaching program. These people had already had a heart attack, 2 heart attacks sometimes. Like, I don't know if I want to invest in, say, a 12-week coaching program, for example. Because, hey, it costs money. So, yeah, you're right. It does cost money. This $100, if you have to pay me $10 for it, it costs you money, doesn't it? But even though it costs you money, who would take the deal? Wave at me, right? We would take the deal. Listen to this. This is what we have to show our clients so they can properly evaluate. And today, y'all are going to be able to properly evaluate the idea, say, for example, of going plant-based nutrition or not going plant-based nutrition. But you can apply this same scenario to whether you're going to start that business that you've been putting off or not. Whether you're going to work on that relationship or you're going to leave that relationship. You're going to step up to the plate or you're not going to step up to the plate. You're going to give it all you got or you're not going to give it up. You're going to wake up in the morning, you're going to do the exercise, you're not going to do the exercise. You're going to apply this to the same thing. All right? Vince Rountree, pop up here. You give me a description. You tell me something right now. You show me. Let me paint the example. I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to go plant-based. Plant-based is the only lifestyle that's been proven to reverse heart disease, okay? So but I don't want to give up my chicken wings. I don't want to spend any money. Maybe this health food costs more. Maybe I've got all these things in my head of reasons why, all the things it's going to cost me to go plant-based. Vince, you tell me what it's really going to cost me. You tell me what it's really going to cost me.
You know, I want you to think for a second of the path that you are currently on. You know you have high blood pressure. You know you have high cholesterol. You know that you have experienced chest pains. Your doctor has already told you that you have heart disease. And you need to properly evaluate the ramifications of heart disease. Now, you are very well aware of the fact that heart disease can lead to bypass surgery. Your increased cholesterol and your chest pains, your doctor has already said that you've got heart disease. You've got some blockages, and blockages can lead to bypass surgery. And I want you to think for a second what bypass surgery really is. We've all heard, oh, I got to get bypass surgery. But here is what bypass surgery really is. Listen to me. I want everybody to tap this bone right here, your sternum. When you tap your sternum, feel how hard that is. That bone is hard. You know why nature made it hard? Because your heart is underneath there. And if you get open heart surgery, that hard bone has to be cut. They literally take a circular saw. A circular saw, and they start down and they move, and the circular saw goes in the bottom of the sternum and it raises up, and they literally have to cut the sternum completely through to break that bone because your heart is underneath there. Oh, it's just bypass surgery. You literally have to cut one of the hardest bones in your body. It doesn't stop there. Because after you cut it, it still wants to stay closed. They said open heart surgery. Now they got to put some clamps on your chest and literally crack your chest open. When doctors do open heart surgery, they say, I got to go crack a chest. There's clamps that are put on both sides of the sternum that will literally, they open it and crack your chest open in order to get to your heart. Now, bypass means there is a clog in the artery from your heart. So to bypass that, they got to cut your thigh and get an artery from your thigh and then tie it into the artery from your heart, bypass the clog, and then tie that into the other side of the artery so the blood can go around the clog. That's a single bypass. Some people need double bypass. They got to take another artery from your leg and go around another bypass. That's double bypass. There's people that get triple bypass, that get quadruple bypass, that get quintuple bypass. This surgery is major trauma to your body. All I'm asking you to do is to eat some broccoli and apples and eat some watermelon. That's all I'm asking you to do. Gosh, Rawlin gave you the example of just spending $10 to get 100. I'm asking you to spend a penny to get thousands. Literally, all you've got to do is eat potatoes and beans and corn and fruits and vegetables, and you can reverse the damage done to your arteries. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm saying is this is an image of an open heart surgery. And in that image, I'm not sure if you can see it, but here are the clamps on the difference on both sides to hold the chest open so that a man can stick his hand inside to stitch these arteries that he took from your leg to go around and bypass around the clogged artery. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the example that Rawlin gave you when he says, you are only looking at, I don't want to give up a piece of chicken. I don't want to give up my pepperoni cheese pizzas. I don't want to give up how much I love my hamburgers. And it is okay to crack my chest open. And here's the thing. If it happens once and they do the bypass and they put your chest back together and you lay down and you go right back out and eat more hamburgers, you are developing the problem again because it's caused by your food. Evaluate the cost. Evaluate the value you're getting from it. You have the opportunity to not have your chest cracked open. And you're just looking at your chicken that you don't want to give up your chicken wings. That is a decision that people make every day. In our coaching program, we have had people, we've had a lady that said, a lady that after she went to the doctor after working with us for about 4 weeks, the doctor told her her risk for having heart disease has gone down 85 to 95%. This is a lady whose cholesterol went from 290 down to like 133. Blood pressure dropped, cholesterol dropped, completely changed her life. She had already had a stroke and was in such bad shape, she couldn't even get through taking a whole shower by herself. She had a chair in the shower, she had to sit down. After working with us for 6 weeks, she completed a 5K. And this woman loved eggs, loved cheese. Her first conversation she had with Rawlin and I is, how can I get along with no eggs and no cheese? That was her first conversation. She said, I literally don't know how I'm going to do it. We said, we can help you with those solutions. And she made that decision. She will gladly tell you that was the best decision that she made in her life. She got her life back. But how many people don't make that decision because they just can't give up their eggs and their cheese? It happens every day. All right. Oh my goodness. It's 27 minutes after the hour.
Let me pop in here and I'm going to close it out for a second. Make sure you're evaluating the right cost, right? Because what Vince also didn't tell you is because some people object to spending money. Now, we have ads going out there all the time that say, we're going to teach you how to do this. People say, I'm not going to spend $100 to learn that. I'm going to spend, blankety, blankety, blank. Well, okay. Well, that heart surgery costs you at the low end, $100,000. On the high end, $400,000. So evaluate the correct cost. Yeah, don't say to yourself, well, I don't want to pay the cost. You don't get out of life not paying a cost. There's no such thing. The question is, what form of cost do you want to pay? You want to pay $10 to get $100, or do you want to pay life $80 to keep your $10, or $90 to keep your $10? Which one? Which one is it? By the way, quick disclaimer, Vince, I have to make a correction. You said in 6 weeks she ran a 5K. It was 24 weeks. It was right around 24 weeks when she ran her walked her 5K. I just want to make sure that that's clear. We've had so many, it's hard to keep them all, but I know who he was talking about specifically, because he was talking about her having a stroke and couldn't give up pizza. So I want to put that out there. Questions. Oh, we got 1 minute. Vince, do your thing. Hey, did everyone get it? Did you get it? Wave at me if you got it. There's always a cost. There's no question about what you're going to pay. You are going to pay, but you get to choose which cost you get to pay. But not if you're only focused on the first cost that come to mind, because society's brainwashed you to focus on what you're going to have to pay. Stop focusing on what you're going to have to pay. Start focusing on the value that you receive, the discounted bargain that you get to play today, rather than playing the lottery, because the odds are stacked against you, not for you, if you stay on the standard American average diet. Vince Rountree, you gonna lean into the camera, pull off your glasses, and do all kinds of good stuff?
We thank you guys for joining us this morning on the Daily Huddle. And I always like to end the show with a thought that I want this to stay with you throughout the day, throughout the week. And that is this: you only have one body in this lifetime. If you don't take care of it, where are you going to live? You've only got one body in this lifetime. So eat as though your life depends on it, because it does. My name is Vince Rountree. Thank you for joining us this morning on the Daily Huddle.
Thanks, Vince. Thanks, Rawlin. Thank you, family.
Thanks, Stan.
Yes, sir, Stan the man.
Awesome.
Appreciate you, Stacy.